Right, everybody, and welcome to the second vehicle of the Balapar franchise. We have the CV90120 Ghost. I'm just going to call this a Ghost. It looks a bit strange. Okay, steel layers with air gaps. It has 120 with one that needs to be upgraded. The difference is 15mm and... that's about it. It also has access to heat MP with a third option. Not particularly sure about that. We'll have a look at that in a sec. And heat MP as well. Does this have access to 2 turrets? That's what's making me think. So armor layout is 51mm thick. Oh boy. Can you pen this with an autocannon? Yeah, you can pen it with a 50 caliber. Let's see quickly. Can you pen this with a Terminator? The answer is yes. Oh god. Alright, jumping back to the Ghost. Good fucking lord, that is a lot of stuff. Back to the Ghost, no missile option. Turret is unmanned, I believe. That's actually a very well sloped turret, but unfortunately doesn't really mean anything. Let's see about these stats. Stats and modules, information, stealthy, weapon diversity, kinetic rounds, a ready rack, and a 360-degree smoke cover. Stats wise, 600 damage, 800 pen, 4.4 second reload time, which is actually quite good, 27% camo. That's moving, and a max speed of 85, that's also quite good as well. It comes immediately with adaptive camo, so we might be looking at somewhere near the Griffin's level of camouflage, which is actually going to be quite insane. Ability to unlock a hard kill APS as well, experimental smoke grenades. And lastly, we get the option of... so this is a single so basically... better firepower is a single cannon, and worse firepower is the ready rack option with 6 shells and a 2.4 second reload time. Or the option of simply having better shells. I think I might go for the better shell option. And then lastly, there's the ability to get the reinforced transmission, which will push it from 85 to 100. A few range of 430, so all's well and good. Let's quickly put this thing through the vehicle testing area, see what goes. Coffee. Lots of coffee. So this is a tier 9 light tank, which means it's going to be competing with Thunderbolts and Anders and the ZTQ, and of course the VT5. The VT5. Now the ZTQ-15 is the premier scout light tank of tier 9. So this depends. Is the Ghost going to be a better passive scout or a better active scout than the ZTQ? And the other question being, if a ZTQ with improved optics and the Aryan Bush camo build, is it going to be able to nullify the Ghost's adaptive concealment? Because that's a question I want to ask, because are we looking at the new best scout tank for tier 9? Or are we looking at something that is really not that well armoured? Because the ZTQ and the VT5 have the super heavy ERA, and they come with an APS. This needs to be unlocked with an APS, and I mean, it's well armoured versus autocannons, but as you saw there, there's no real bounce angles versus itself, which while 800 pen is nice and all, pen really doesn't seem to matter that much anymore. So is this a question of, can it bounce the lower penetration rounds of tier 9? Because if it can't, then it's going to be butchered by the Chinese light tanks. And also the WP Anders. So, as much as I'd like to be able to immediately buy the battle path and everything, I don't really particularly want to shell out an incredible amount of money. I know Soren, a French moderator, has, but that's because Soren is a doof. So let's quickly look at the light tanks for benefit and concealment. Now, I honestly believe it's better to compare the light tanks than the MBTs. So, highest damage of the group, DPM is near Thunderbolt levels, same pen as the Thunderbolt, worse hit points, camo, these are all with errands, so this would be 8%, so roughly the same camo, but remember this has the adaptive thermal, so the best elevation out of the bunch, but worse depression and Thunderbolt. Should be able to eventually have the most view range if you stack it up and everything. Interesting. I think we could be looking at the next best scout for tier 9, but I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the Ghost. And next up is the Rast.